Welcome to Smart Remarks, where it's all about the freedom! For me. So Arizona's new immigration law is the talk of the country, and with good reason. This is one of the most hardcore authoritarian laws we've seen, basically requiring all Latinos to carry proof of their legal right to be in the United States with them at all times, because Arizona cops must check the immigration status of anyone they encounter during lawful contact if they have a, quote, reasonable suspicion that that person might be here illegally. But, you know, what does that mean, reasonable suspicion? The law is supposed to specifically prohibit racial profiling, but what? Are illegals wearing t-shirts saying, "I am here illegally"? Or maybe the cops just know, right? Right. What's guaranteed to happen with this law is that legal immigrants or even American citizens will wind up being stopped, asked for their papers, and if they can't provide them immediately, being detained. And so you know this thing is going to be challenged in court, and if it isn't found unconstitutional to begin with, it could result in all sorts of civil lawsuits against Arizona, requiring Arizona to fork out all sorts of money at a time when conservatives like those who passed the law have been complaining about excess government spending. And so I'm sure this is going to get your teabaggers even more outraged, right? I mean, for more than a year, they've been screaming about freedom and tyranny and big government, and so logically, one might conclude that your teabaggers would oppose this measure. After all, it specifically expands the power of government, and surely they will be outraged about the potential for violations of the Fourth Amendment. Teabaggers are big on the Constitution, right? Teabaggers, come on, Tea Party, let's take down this law!
Who's with me? Let's go! Come on!
Oh, right. See, your average teabag type likes this law because illegal immigrants are illegal, and so therefore we must give government expansive new powers to take care of the problem. And besides, a majority of Arizonans support this law, which clearly trumps any potential constitutional problems. And by the way, how dare you suggest that this new law might be abused? Outrage! And so we see that right-wing complaints about tyranny and big government are selective. They like big government when it suits them. They're on the side of freedom when they feel their own freedom to be threatened, but when it's someone else's freedom that might be at risk, we don't really care about that too much, you know? Which means, ultimately, that all their yapping about freedom and the Constitution is posturing. For freedom means nothing unless it applies equally to all. Do teabaggers agree with that statement? If not, they're faking it.
Well, thankfully, Byron York, he hit the nail on the head in summarizing what this law really is about, that there is no ability or opportunity in there for the racial profiling. And shame on the lamestream media again for turning this into something that it is not. Governor Jan Brewer